All right, welcome once again to Jomo Resource Center. Here at Jomo Resource Center, we offer affordable and convenient training programs, and we also have free training resources that you can also take advantage of. Today, we are going to, in this video, we are going to be discussing a very, very important subject. We are going to be looking at 10 common misconceptions about personal development. Now, in recent times, and sadly so, the word self no longer means so much to a lot of people. For some people, it means privacy and keeping certain deeds and actions is secret to friends, to the society. For others, it is that ugly part of them that they do not want other people to see, do not want other people to notice. For yet another, it is about their weaknesses and vulnerabilities, which they think they must protect by all means. However, self is the you behind the clothing, behind the makeup, and behind the appearances, right? Self is the true and the authentic you that returns to bed every night away from people's gazes, away from social media, away from the fanfare, away from people's applause, away from other people's perception. That you that retires to bed every night. It is that authentic you that is unaffected by impression, by people's judgment and applause. It is the existential you that never fades or wanes. It is the real you. And this real you is an unending gold mine that needs to be continually cultivated and continually dug and continually excavated. The process of digging deeper and deeper and deeper into this self and into your personal capacity is what we call personal development. Personal development is the concept that deals with you developing yourself, you digging deeper into that gold mine, into that unending gold mine. You see, as a human, you have the capacity to continuously grow, continuously get better, to the point that you will never reach a point where you will say, yes, I've reached my limit. You can always, as a human, you can always get better. In fact, why it is possible that you could become a professional on a particular skill in a particular area and reach the peak of that particular industry, the same you who have established so much, and we have seen a lot of people do it. We've seen people who pursue a career in a particular industry to the point, to the climax of that career, and then they abandon that industry entirely. They abandon the industry entirely, abandon all the reputations and all the legacies they have built, and go into a different industry, go into a different path, and begin afresh. We have seen people in our society, in our community, in our country, in the world do it all the time. We've seen people who have even moved, who have been able to build different legacies for themselves in 3 different industries. They started this one, they finish it, they feel they have reached the climax, they leave, and then they go and start the whole new. So your possibilities as a person is endless. The rate, the measure at which you could develop yourself, the measure at which you could evolve is unending, is continuous. Why do you want to limit it? Why do you want to reduce it? And some people, the reduction is not even just to a profession, but also to a very, very small cave, a very, very small cage. They so microzone themselves in such a way that they don't even give possibilities to themselves, even in the same industry or in the same profession. And that is what we are here to talk about today. And why does this happen? Why do people fall into this trap? Fall into this trap because we do not only microzone ourselves, but we also microzone the concept of personal development. For some of us, which is the first misconception I'm going to mention, we think that self-development is just about reading books. Of course, it's not very popular now, but in the setup and in the generation in which people like us grew up, reading books was like, if you are not reading books, we used to have it even as a competition. People will have asked you, how many books have you read? How many books have you finished and all that? You understand? So, but now I realize that competition is no longer there. But in the setup that we grew up, that competition was only there. And it looks as if personal development is as in that setup. And I think some people still have it up till now. It looks as if personal development is just about reading books. We have now found ourselves in a society and in a setup where a lot of people no longer even read books. But personal development is not just about reading books. It is about taking action. It is about building habits. It is about self-reflection. It is about setting goals. It is about learning new skills. If you read books, you attend workshops, and you do not build new habits, you do not take action, you do not reflect, and you do not set goals for yourself, and you do not learn new skills, self-development will not have taken place. Number 2 misconception is the fact that some people think that it is only for people with problems, people with communication problems, people with attitude problems. There is this idea that the people who need to engage in personal development are people that have certain form of natural disabilities, whether the disability is physical or it is intrinsic. You understand? But personal development is not about having problems. Personal development is about developing yourself with newer version, like releasing the new version of you every time. That is what personal development is about. Personal development is about developing yourself to the point. Look at the softwares, look at gadgets and everything that we have. We are upgrading it. We are releasing new versions. That is what we are talking. That is what self-development is all about. Self-development, personal development is about unleashing. When people think that they have seen the whole of you, you release another version of you. When people you release a higher version of you. When people are becoming used to that new version of you, you release another new version. And all of these things are things that you can do by upgrading your goals, by upgrading your emotional intelligence, by upgrading your intelligence in general, by upgrading your skills. You understand? All of these things are things that you can do. The third misconception is it is a one-time event. Personal development is not a one-time event. I kind of even think that the subject of even discussing it as a one-time event has actually watered down. People are not so much making a lot of emphasis regarding personal development. But we must come to that point where we bring the discussion to the table, and we must insist that there is need for us to continuously develop ourselves, right? Personal development is an ongoing journey. You will not arrive. There is no destination. You will continue to get better, get better, get better, get better. People who understand this, even in their 60s, in their 70s, are releasing new versions of themselves. And that is very, very critical. In our workshop on personal development, we did mention the need for personal development plan, which should be able to help you to plan, to be able to have a foresight as to the various phases, as to the various versions of you that you could release over time, as to the possibilities to which you could explore, because all of these things begins from a plan. And what a plan does is that a plan gives you a foresight. A plan gives you, a foresight as to the various versions of you that you can release and when you can release them. The next is success equals personal development. The fact that you are a successful caterer, you're a successful fashion designer, you're a successful human resource manager, you're a successful entrepreneur, does not mean that you have developed yourself, does not equal personal development. It doesn't mean that that is your best version. It's possible that your best version is here, and there are so many layers of you that you can continue to release and release and release and release. Now, when people know you for this, they will be surprised and then come to the other aspect and then see you doing this, and they will be surprised. I thought you used to be a tech guy. I thought you're an ICT person. What are you doing in business development? What are you doing in consultancy? There is various opportunity. The opportunity is endless, and to limit it, I think, is the most unkind thing to do to yourself. So through personal development, it's not just about success, being successful at your craft. It is about your emotional intelligence. It is about your strength of character. It is about the strength of your relationships. It is about your self-awareness and your resilience. Right? Then the fifth is the idea that you can do it all alone. There are people who believe that if there is anything they can do about personal development, they are enough. Their ideas are enough. Their opinions are enough. No. Take for example, you are not growing, you are not developing for yourself, and there are various components of the society. There are various people in the society that will be instrumental to that process. So it's not just about you, right? So because it's not just about you, it's something that is going to benefit the community. The community have input. People in the community, systems in the community have input to make to your growth. And this input is what makes it possible. As a matter of fact, of course, as a person, you will be the one to engineer it, you'll be the one to ignite it, you'll be the one to begin it, but it doesn't end with you. Then number 6 misconception is the idea that it's all about motivation. So people want to feel motivated to make effort to develop themselves. If you are waiting for motivation to learn a new skill, you are waiting for motivation to learn emotional intelligence, you are waiting for motivation to build a strong character for yourself, you may never do it. So personal development is about personal decision to get better at what you do and to get better as a person, to be better than you were yesterday, to be better than you were last year. It's a determination. It's a recognition of how critical it is for you to do this. And out of commitment, you decide to do it. You can't sit down and be waiting for motivation. No, because that motivation may never come. So it is critical for you to understand that personal development is not about motivation. Because motivation is just a feeling. Motivation will fade. Habits, systems are the things that keep you going. Then the 7th is, some people think that when we make emphasis and we talk about personal development, and which I believe is one of the reasons why a lot of people stop talking about personal development, is to think that it is a selfish thing. It is not a selfish thing. The best thing you can give to your community, you can give to your society, you can give to your nation is a better version of yourself. Right? That is the best gift you can give even to your family. So it is not selfish to want to get better. It is not selfish to want to unleash yourself. It is not selfish for you to say, okay, I've reached the peak of my career in this industry. Let me therefore move from this industry and focus on another. It is not selfish. It is in fact it is a generous act, and that should be encouraged by all means. Then number 8 is the idea that you have to be perfect. Many avoid personal development because they feel that they have too many flaws, and because they can't be perfect and they have been struggling with some of their flaws, they think that there is no need investing in personal development. But that again is not true. Personal development is not about being perfect. Personal development is about being better than you were yesterday, being better than you were last month, being better than you were last year. It's about unleashing, it's about releasing a better and a new version of yourself at every point in time. It's not about being perfect. It is about becoming the best of what you have been always. Being better than you have been always. It's not even about being better than anybody. It's not even about competition. It's about you being better than you were. Releasing a better version of yourself, because deep down in you is that better version of yourself that is waiting to be released, that is waiting to be unleashed. Number 9 is it is only about mental or emotional growth. Some people believe that personal development is just about mental or emotional growth. This again is not true, right? Personal development, apart from emotional and mental growth, include physical health, being healthy physically, financial literacy, being literate financially. By the way, we do have a workshop on finance. We do have a workshop on finance management. That workshop is designed to teach you what we call personal financial literacy or personal financial management skills. You should go and take that workshop. In the description of this video, the link is also there. You can just click it and take it from there. You understand? So financial literacy is part of it. Communication skills. Some people believe communication is not for them, but that could be the next version of you that the world is waiting for. That could be the next version of you that the society is longing for. You have been able to build a career. You have been able to rise to the peak of your career. What about you invest time in developing communication skills so that people can truly begin to benefit from your wealth of experience? You see that? And that is what you will be able to do when you learn communication skills. It's also about spirituality too. There is also the spiritual angle to it. If you're a person of faith, you make sure you are sound spiritually. It is about developing the whole person of you, upgrading the whole of you, every aspect of your life, your social life, your spiritual life, your professional life, whatever aspect of it at all. And then the 10th and the last is the idea that it is expensive. No doubt there will be some commitments of resources to it. And in our workshop on personal development, I did make emphasis on the need to create a budget for your personal development, right? So it's important to create a budget for your personal development. Save for it. You need to take courses. You need to participate in workshops. Sometimes you need to travel for these workshops. Of course, these things are things that will cost you money. But while you are doing all of these too, there are also free resources that are available to you. For example, we have several workshops there at Jomo Resource Center that are free. We even certify you for it free. That are free. And there are other free resources that are available for you online. There are free books. There are books you can get for free. Right? There are a lot of free resources. In conclusion, personal development is a venture that you cannot afford to lose. The society is losing because you are failing to release the next and the new version of you. Your family is missing out because you have failed to develop yourself. Your children, your husband, your wife are victims of the weaknesses that you have refused to develop. You say it is my weakness. It is not your weakness. It is affecting other people. If you lack emotional intelligence, it's not going to affect only you. It's going to affect the people you work with. If you are the boss in your working place, it's going to affect everybody beneath you. It's going to affect the soundness of your decision. It's going to affect everybody. There is nothing like my private life. Because those things you are considering private, most often than not, are the things that dictate for you how you relate with people, how you carry out your work, how you respond to crisis, how you respond to people. So it's not private. You have anger issues, it is not private. It is not your personal issue. No. Your children, your co-workers, the society, the community will be a victim of it. So I need you to sit down today and begin to work on those things that need to be worked on. Personal development is necessary in the first place to help you correct some of the things that you don't have. You see, we are all born with strengths and weaknesses. We are born, there are things we are very capable of doing. There are other things that we are not so good at doing. That does not mean that we have lost out of those things that we don't have natural ability to do, or we don't have the gift to do. It can be learned. That is why we have something called skill acquisition. If you have anger issues, you can acquire the skill to manage your anger. If you have communication problems, you can learn communication skills. If you have emotional problems, you can learn emotional skills. The possibilities are endless. Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget that in the description of this video, there are so many links to other resources, free resources that you can take advantage of. There are also links to our courses that you can also take advantage of. Thank you very much for joining. I will see you next time.